Data.com, past weather in Annapolis, which is the same as we have. So Friday, November 15th. This is the lowest it got. So at 6 a.m., it got to a low of 34. But in the evening on the 15th, it was a low of 43. At 12 a.m., it was a low of 41. So that couldn't have been it because she said it was around 9 o'clock. So somewhere between these two, at 6 a.m. in the morning is 39 degrees. So it never got to 32 degrees. It was likely 43 degrees. But she waited for 20 minutes and froze. And this was Saturday, November 16th, 2019, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. I could hear him on the phone talking to someone about what he should do now. I looked towards his vehicle from my gate, from behind trees, to see if he was out of vehicle because his voice was loud. So again, she's left that barn. She's walked 20, 30 yards over, walked behind the other garage to where the gate is. Why would she do that? Why wouldn't she just walk the shorter distance into the house? I did this to see if he was following me. So you walked forward to this voice or this info green light. And by the way, what happened to the info green light? Was it still on? You never said that it came off. I felt this eerie feeling in the pitch black. I then bolted to the house. Why didn't you bolt to the house before? I was no longer lit in green. So did the light ever go off, or you just ran out from underneath the light? And he left spot he was sitting. How could you see me through all these trees and garages and barns? Here, this is the stand of trees, and this is the trees that the house is 100 yards in that direction. So how possibly would someone, she never said I went on her property, never went over the fence, how possibly would someone be able to see anything, you don't see the house, you see an old, 150-year-old wall, but the rest of it is trees, and you'll see, because I'll do a film over there, you can't see anything. I went and got my husband. I was terrified that night. I basically slept with my eyes open. So of course you called the police, you made a report of it, you did something. And the answer is of course not. Well, then you would tell the judge, this is on the 15th, in front of the judge 3 days later, you would tell the female judge about this when she asked you, is there anything else to report? Sunday, 11/17, so that was Friday. I was on GI, Gibson Island, walking toward the point at Broadway and Skywater Road. That intersection does not exist. She supposedly walks on the island all the time, many, many times a year, lives next door. That intersection doesn't exist. There was Mr. Lucy, was walking his dog with his son. So walking his dog with his son, that's not true. November 17th at 4:46. That is Jeanette, who Janice knows extremely well, but she knows Janice because Jeanette has kept a horse at Madeline right next door for a long time. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs, and Jeanette, who she knows, obviously it's a woman's shape, at 4:46 p.m. Basically same picture, 4:45 p.m., still walking, and looked back at me twice. Well, couldn't have looked anywhere near her because we were on Banbury Road, and again, there is no intersection of Broadway and Skywater. I was like, oh no, now what to myself? I kept on my track, opposite side of the road. Again, this intersection doesn't exist. Opposite side of the road, I continued my power walk to the point of the island. I turned back towards home, and there he was still at the same place I first saw him, maybe 50 feet further along within 15 minutes. Again, Banbury Road is more than a mile from the point. So we did a loop on Skipper's Row and Banbury Road and went back to the house. And then went over to the assisted living. When I saw him still there, I went to the right onto Bywater Road, took the path onto the Chesapeake Bay side of the island's secret beach, and ran down the beach and came back out on the road and the lake and continued my walk home, approximately half hour left of my walk. I got back to my home, and he was now off the island walking the dog from walking the dog to in his vehicle sitting at assisted living parking lot at the right of way road, which I was walking home on, watching me and videotaping me again. So she had seen that Jeanette and I, November 17th, 5:18. So remember, it was 4:45 and 4:46. We'd gone over to the assisted living and taken a picture of the new mural that Jeanette had just gotten this lady to finish painting. So she saw our vehicle, saw my vehicle over there, did not know I was in there with Jeanette, taking a picture of the new mural, but obviously I wasn't in my vehicle, we were inside taking a picture, and she said it was about a half an hour. So 4:46 from when she said she saw us to 5:18 is about a half an hour. So she saw our vehicle, and again, trying to say that we were somewhere, the vehicle was parked as it's allowed to be on our property, accessing their road, and we were taking a picture of the mural that had just been finished. I'm a 55-year-old woman, and this man is always watching me and my family, lingering around, taking pictures, and as stated many times, videoing me to the point it is frightening, enabling me to live in a normal manner, consistently worrying of this unstable man. Obviously that sentence makes no sense, but we happen to be next door with an assisted living and with 2 other properties. One we rent, another one we own, which is a 3-bedroom rental property. It's the only road to Gibson Island. Obviously we see her more than we would like. She has no business on Gibson Island other than she is a club member, but she doesn't live there, and there have been many instances both on and off the island, including a dog attack, a dog bite. She came at us with a jet ski. We had 3 witnesses. We called the DNR. When something happens, we call the police, call the DNR, or have videotapes of it. And unfortunately, these people have to end up going to court to prove it, do end up proving it. But in the meantime, they say all these libel and slander and hold us in a false light that people use as part of the public conspiracy to discriminate against the disabled, because the corporation doesn't want the disabled on Gibson Island. They haven't for almost 100 years, and the Waltjens don't want it next to them, as they've said on video and in writing. And obviously, these are the trees. That is the fence they put in shortly after July 22nd, 2019. It's the gate they put in, which is not big enough or wide enough for a vehicle to go through, and they keep it locked. So they end up climbing over it all the time. And again, they're the ones with these signs, but this is all now our property. And again, beyond this wall and bushes, hedges, you can't even see the house. So when she says we're walking down along the property line, it's all treed. You can't, can't see the house. It's all treed, or has these big stone walls. Again, these trees are 30 feet tall. So all the way down, it's just really impossible to see through. And again, walking down, again, I'm right by the assisted living here, and so right here there's a spot where some trees have fallen down, and they have we've only noticed one camera, and it's been sitting there for a long time like that, so that's the only camera we've noticed. Don't know if it's functional, don't really care it's functional. But these trees go all the way down almost to water. And as we've said before, this is the group home for 5, and it sits down here, so when the cameras on the outside, as you saw before, were shining down on the deck here, and this whole building is set 5.5 feet. Another camera here. Let these lenses shine down, so they shine back and forth as you saw. This is 5.5 feet in the ground, all the way around. So it's sat down in here. So you've got a fence, then a fence, and a stand of, and again, there's no camera on the eaves back here. So, you know, it's just a fiction that's in her mind. Again, it's down in a hole, 5.5 foot hole, and the only lights are floodlights that shine down. Certainly not infragreen. No floodlights on that corner, and floodlight on that corner is again shining for that back walkway. Shining on that back walkway. The property here. So the fire trucks could turn around. They tried to stop us because the fire trucks, these are 112 foot long solar panels, 8 feet tall, that incredibly dangerous. You can't see who's walking over here. You can't see who's coming around the corner. And it's a real problem because they absorb light at night. You literally have to get here and poke your car out to see around this corner. And of course they're planting trees to make it even worse. So you have to poke around the corner to try to see. It's a right of way we get to use anytime. We can even unload on it. But this is 7 feet. It's an 8 foot panel, so that's 7 feet. Most cars are 5 to 7 feet from the front bumper to where the driver's sitting, so you really can't see. If you're sitting here, you can't see, and you have to put your car out. It's really bad coming around this side because you're on the right side of the lane, so you're coming here and you can't see anything. And you're tight next to the fence because you're on your side of the road. You can't see, you can't see, you can't see. And you literally have to get all the way up here to try to see around.